Hey guys, welcome back to another plan with me. This week I'm planning from September 1st to the 7th, and I'm using this kit from SPC called Emo, I think. And I want to say that this is exclusive art, and when I saw it, I got so excited. I want to say that Rosie Plans requested this artwork maybe, which would make sense because she's like really big into the scene and going to shows and stuff. But this kit was perfect for this week because I went to see My Chem play the entire Black Parade album. I unfortunately did not go to see them in Philly. Those tickets were outrageously expensive. And my friend decided that she wanted to go to Boston to see them. And so I said, all right, sure. I have mixed feelings about it. I think it would have been worth it to just get more expensive tickets and stay home, especially because the night of the show, my boyfriend and I were looking at tickets, mainly him. And if we had just gone to the stadium and like waited, we could have gotten like $200 pit tickets right before they went on, which would have been great because I paid $240 to be very far away. But I was trying to be a good sport. She really wanted to go. She really wanted somebody to go with her. And I had never been to Boston before. So I was like, all right, sure. So that happened this week. And honestly, that's the main reason I used this kit. Other than that, I don't know. It was a weird week for me. Monday was not good. It was a holiday. And so I had off from work, but the thing is because of the way I go back and forth from my apartment and my boyfriend's apartment, and with the parking situation, if I know I have to go home that night, I can't enjoy my day. Like it would have just honestly I don't even know if this is making sense, but basically I spent the day with him and I would have had a much better day if I had come straight home, because all day I was sick to my stomach about like coming home late and not finding parking and having to get ready to go into the office the next day, because that's another thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm grateful that I'm not in office 5 days a week. Don't get me wrong. But holidays always land on a Monday, and I work remote on Mondays. So I usually like do my laundry. I can work out on my break. I don't have to put on real clothes. Like it's much more relaxing than coming home, not finding parking, and then having to get ready to go in office the next morning, not having any of my laundry done, not having any of my cleaning done. Like, because I spend the weekends at my boyfriend's, I don't do that thing where like I do my grocery shop. Well, sometimes I do, but then I have to carry all my groceries home. Anyway, I don't like clean my apartment on Sunday. I don't have a fucking like Sunday reset. You know what I mean? Like Monday is my reset. So anyway, a really long way to say that I had a terrible day off. And I think next time I just need to tell him, like, I'm just going to go home. You can come with me, but I need to just go home when I wake up because the anxiety just ruins my entire day. So that happened. Also, another big reason why I was so anxious on Monday was because Tuesday was the first day that my boss was back. If you've never seen one of my videos where I talk about this before, my boss has 2 homes. Actually, I found out she has 3, but they're in 2 different states. So she has a home here in Philly where she is 6 months out of the year. And then she has a home in Denver where she is the other 6 months. So every summer and winter, she's in Denver. Every fall and spring, she is here. And so this was her first day back. And it's just, I have really bad anxiety. So any type of change just like makes me so sick, especially because like, I know I'm going to have to smile. I've been through this before. Smiling and talking and stuff really takes a lot out of me because I'm depressed. I can't help it. So yeah, that kind of sucked. And other than that, it was just really getting ready for the trip over the weekend. I actually thought about doing a talk through for this video because, again, I'm still just not enjoying doing voiceovers. But a lot of things bothered me on this trip, and I thought that if I did a talk through, I would like say way too many things that I can't really edit out or that I would forget to edit out. But I will just say it was fun and I had a good time, but a lot of things I would have done a lot differently if it had been up to me. And another thing is, so my friend bought the tickets, and here's the thing, I hate planning things. So I really appreciate that she took control of everything. However, she told me that our seats were right behind the pit, which is technically correct, except for it was a baseball field. So the pit is on the other side of the diamond, and then we are on the opposite side of the diamond. So yes, technically we're quote unquote right behind the pit, but there's like a fucking football field in the middle. So we are so fucking far away. And then I've never seen a show in a baseball field before, but there's a net, I guess, to protect the audiences from fly balls. So I am watching the whole show from really far away through a fucking net. And there's there's a long, thicker piece of rope, string, whatever, holding the net up, and it's just slicing right through my view. So I watched the entire concert with a big black line in the middle of the entire thing. And so anyway, now I'm trying to get my boyfriend to go with me when they come to Staten Island, but I only want to go if I have really good seats. Otherwise, I'm not going. But all that said, it was a really good show. It was a really good time. I'm really glad I went. And we also went to Salem on the following Monday, which was fun on our way home. So it was, I'm going to say it was worth it. It was a good experience. But yeah, I wish I just had, and it's my own fault. I should have said something or suggested something, but I just didn't want to. Honestly, I'm just so fucking tired. I didn't want to put any effort into anything, so it's my own fault. But now looking back, I wish I had suggested a couple of things, but it's fine. But anyway, let's just get into the day by day because I don't really have anything else to say. So starting with Monday, the first thing I marked was that I was having the worst day, which I've already discussed, and I used a Lottie from Stick with the Plan Co. for that. Then with a squidge from Stick with the Plan Co., I marked that I was really, really sick to my stomach from all of the anxiety. And then under that, with this Once More with Love Munchkin on the toilet, TMI, but I marked that I had the anxiety shits. I'm telling you, I was not doing well. I should have just gone home. Then with this TV from the Prairie Planner, I accidentally wrote walk, but I meant to write Monsters. Joe and I watched Monsters. Then he and I went for a walk, and I used another Stick with the Plan Co. sticker. With a squish from Fox and Cactus, I marked that I drove home. We were gonna, I think, watch another show, but I was like, I just need to go. Like, I'm freaking out about the parking, and I didn't get a great spot, but I didn't get the worst spot. I think I went home at like 8 p.m. So it was like so. Then with this Prairie Planner sticker that I believe is a freebie, I marked that I was just prepping for the week. Luckily, I came home early enough to have a few hours to like make my lunch, get my outfit ready, whatever. Make my hard-boiled eggs. Gross, I know, but I don't know what else to bring with me to work. Then with this plan next week sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co., I marked that I did functional planning for the week. And then the final thing on Monday with this YouTube icon from Who Knows Where, I marked that I watched YouTube in bed. Moving on to Tuesday, the first thing I marked was that I weighed myself, and I was just kind of like maintaining. I wasn't back down to where I would like to be after the summer of just eating like a pig and not moving enough. And I used a weight icon for that. Then with this nervous emoji, I marked that my boss was back this day, and it really wasn't a big deal. It never is, but that's how anxiety works. And I also say this all the time, so I apologize that all I do is repeat myself, but my life has not changed much. The whole like exposure therapy thing, I don't know if it works for anxiety. I've decided it doesn't. Let me know if it's worked for you. But like the more you do something, the less scary it becomes or whatever. But every time my boss comes back, I'm sick with nerves, even though every single time it's totally fine. So yeah, it was totally fine. Then with this Fox and Cactus sticker, I marked that we got kava for lunch as a team because we had flown some dude in who was interviewing for a position. He ended up getting a better offer from somewhere else, so we wasted all this time, but I got free lunch out of it, so not mad about that. And then I had the leftovers for dinner, so great for me. With this zombie emoji, I marked that work was just dragging and I was so tired and in a shitty mood. What else is new? With this Paper Shire sticker, I marked that I texted the ladies, which I think is, because I have a couple groups of ladies, but I think it's one of my good friends in Philly and our old coworker who I had run into a few months ago. We decided to all get together. We used to work together back in the day. So yeah, I just made it a point to text them this day because I had been putting it off for months just because I've been so busy. With this Fox and Cactus weight, I marked that I did a back workout and walked 10,000 steps. With this Lottie working in her planner, I marked that I filmed and then filled the spread. With this audiobook sticker, I marked that I finished the book I think it's called Kill for Me, Kill for You, or other way around, Kill for You, Kill for Me, I don't know. This audiobook I had actually restarted because at one point I got so bored that I think I zoned out for 3 hours of the story and I was so lost. So I had restarted it and I would not recommend this book. I did like the ending because I love I don't want to give away the ending, but it kind of, in a small way, gives me the same vibe as the end of The Silence of the Lambs with Hannibal Lecter, and I really like endings like that, so I enjoyed the ending. It's very unbelievable, but I mean, what thriller isn't at this point? We're running out of ideas, and I still enjoy them, so. But the rest of the book, I just thought it was poorly written. I thought the plot had way too many holes, and it was just not good, but I finished it. And then the final thing on Tuesday with this doom scroll squidge was that I scrolled in bed for a really long time and then finally ripped the phone away from myself and read a little bit. Moving on to Wednesday, the first thing I marked was that I was in office again and I used this Beautiful Mess Plans, I think that's the name. Who knows? Sticker to mark that. Then with this allergy emoji sticker, I marked that my allergies were so bad. With this Prairie Planner sneaker sticker, I marked that I walked 10,000 steps. Then when I got home, I had this extreme knee pain. It only lasted a day, but I was really concerned. And I'm at the age where wearing the wrong shoes and taking a wrong step, you break your knee. I was worried, but it was sore the next couple days, but then it totally went away. And I didn't really stop activity, which I probably should have, but I needed to walk to the office. So I wasn't not going to do that. I'm not taking the bus. Ew. Then with this Prairie Planner sticker, I marked that I read. With an emoji, I marked that I started rewriting my resume. I just hadn't touched it in a while, and I had been putting it off for a really long time, so I finally started that this night. With a Fox and Cactus squish, I love this sticker, it's so cute. I marked that Joe came over and we watched Monsters. And then the final thing on Wednesday with another squish was that I had a horrible night's sleep. Moving on to Thursday, the first thing I marked was that I had cuddles with Janet in the morning and I used a Paper Shire sticker for that. With this impatient emoji, I marked that the elevators were down at work and I was so pissed off because I was early. I was gonna clock in probably at 7:55 a.m. and I was so excited, but then because the elevators were down, I didn't even get up until 8:15. Now, I did clock in at 8. I was not about to clock in late for something that was not my fault. I was at work, but I felt a little awkward clocking in early, even though I technically was early. So that was really frustrating. And the way the building's set up is you can't even take the stairs without electricity because you still have to scan your key card to take the stairs. And there's no physical keyhole. It's very stupid. So yeah, I was just stuck down in the lobby, and then eventually my coworker showed up and we were both stuck in the lobby. Then with this credit card sticker from Carly Plans and this UGG emoji head from the Coffee Monsters Co., I marked that someone had hacked into my old Express account, and I think I remember I ordered a gift for somebody because I do not shop at Express any longer. Their quality is such garbage. I used to live and die by their camisoles, and I still have all of mine from like high school and when I worked there in college for a little while. I still have all of them, and they're amazing. And I wanted to get new ones because all of mine are long because, you know, like low rise was in then, but I wanted some shorter ones because now I'm shoving like, you know, a foot of fabric down my high-waisted jeans. So I wanted to get some shorter ones. Sorry that I'm going off, but anyway, I wanted to get some shorter ones, and they're horrific. They're like this silky polyester stuff. They're not cotton. It's awful. And all of their stuff is like that now. It's just the lowest quality shit for high, high prices. All that to say, I don't shop there anymore. And the only reason my credit card was even on my account, I should have removed it, was because I bought somebody a Christmas gift from there a couple years ago. So anyway, I got an email that said that my order was on the way, and I see it's, first of all, it's all men's clothing. It's under a man's name, and it's going to a different address. It's actually only an hour away. Like, I sort of wanted to like call the cops or something, but I didn't because I didn't really know like how to handle it. But long story short, I called my credit card company. They took care of it, sent me a new credit card and all that, but it just pissed me off because then I called Express and I was like, hey, just to let you know, like, maybe don't send this out because this was credit card fraud. And of course, it's one of those dumb call centers that suck. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. The order's already processed. I'm like, I don't care. I already got my money back. I'm letting you guys know you are about to send stuff out that has not been paid for. She's like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just trying to help, but fine. Send the stolen goods. So anyway, that happened. Then with this squish on a walking pad, I marked that I did a chest workout and walked 10,000 steps. With this voiceover sticker from the Prairie Planner, I marked that I did a voiceover, and then the final thing on Thursday with this Prairie Planner flat lay, I marked that I read, and I always get so excited when I have room for a flat lay because I love them. And then moving on to Friday, the first thing I marked was that I was remote this day, and I used a Lottie from Stick with the Plan Co. for that. With this Prairie Planner sink sticker, I marked that I did the dishes. With another Prairie Planner cleaning sticker, I marked that I swept all of the floors. With this car from, I want to say, a shop that's no longer open, I marked that I renewed my registration. With a squish on the walking pad, I marked that I did a bunch of steps, I don't remember how many, and read my book. With, I think this is also the Prairie Planner. With this hair dryer, I marked that I took a shower and blow dried my hair because I wanted to we were leaving really early the next morning for our road trip. So I just wanted to make sure that I was like clean, my hair was dry, and I didn't have to worry about it in the morning. With this emoji next to a suitcase, I marked that I packed. And then the final thing on Friday was that I went over to Joe's place and we watched the challenge, and I used a Once More with Love sticker for that. Then moving on to Saturday, the first thing I marked was that we were off to Boston, and it was so nice. My friend, she came to Philly and picked me up, so I didn't have to drive to her because she lives about an hour-ish away from me, depending on traffic, sometimes 45 minutes. But she said that like driving to Philly only added like 10 or 15 minutes to her drive. So she was like, it's totally fine. I'll just come get you. So that was amazing. So she picked me up at Joe's. Then with this emoji eating pizza, I marked that we stopped at this place. I want to say it's called like Sally's a Pizza or something like that. It's famous pizza in New Haven, Connecticut. Unfortunately, I didn't really get to have the full experience because my friend has a really, really, really sensitive stomach, and red sauce doesn't agree with her. And so we got a white pizza. And I honestly don't love white pizza unless it has like an Alfredo sauce on it and like vegetables or like other toppings. I don't like it when it's just like cheese and oil on top of bread. At that point, I just don't even feel like I'm eating pizza. But I'm not gonna force my friend to get red sauce when she will then be like shitting her pants all the way to Boston, you know? So it was very expensive, and I would have loved to get a pizza that I like, but it was still good. Like, I'll say it was really good bread with cheese on it. But yeah, so we stopped there. Then with this key from Papershire, I marked that we checked in at our hotel, and we stayed at Verb, I think it's called. And she ended up picking that hotel because she's not a big walker, and it was right next to the stadium. Like, we saw the stadium. We could see the security guards walking around it from our hotel window. And it was really nice of her because it's a very expensive hotel, and she knows I would never have chosen it. So I don't remember how much I paid. I want to say she charged me a third or a quarter of the price, and then she paid the rest because she really, really didn't want to walk. And I'm the opposite. I much prefer to walk. I actually feel guilty when I'm on trips and I don't walk. So she knew I wouldn't have paid extra to not do something that I want to do. So anyway, that was really nice of her. Then with this Target bag from a shop that's no longer open, I marked that we went to Target, and actually she took the escalator and I took the stairs because I was like, I need to get some steps in because the Target was like a block away. Then with this Prairie Planner flood sticker, I marked that it was a huge storm outside, and so that sort of was a bummer. Luckily, we already knew about the rain, so I brought like boots and an umbrella and my like water resistant jacket. I don't have a raincoat because I hate them. And we did walk to dinner, and luckily the rain let up a little bit. It was still raining steadily, but before we left, it was a storm, like a full-blown storm. But anyway, we went to dinner at this place called Mida, I don't know. It was not our first choice, but the first choice was booked solid, so we decided to go here. I didn't love it. I'm not going to lie. And maybe it's just what I ordered. I got gnocchi, which I used to really like as a kid, and this was like homemade and I just didn't like it. But while we were there, the restaurant was really, really, really warm. And so a lot of the patrons were asking for the door because we were near a secondary door. They were asking for it to be open. But then this girl came in and she was cold. And she was like in a tank top when she could have put on a jacket. But anyway, so she was complaining that she was cold. So just for this one girl, they closed the door. And the table next to us, they were like, the one girl was fanning herself. Like everybody was sweating. And this one girl gets to be comfortable. But anyway, my friend who I was there with, she made a big show about how uncomfortable she was. And it really worked to our advantage because our waiter gave us free gelati or gelato, whatever. And I got chocolate. It is hands down the best chocolate ice cream type thing I've ever had. Just straight chocolate. It was so good, worth sweating for. Then the final thing on Saturday was that we watched the show Chaos in bed, and I used a Netflix sticker from the same sheet as that Target bag, and then a squish in bed. Then moving on to Sunday, the first thing I marked was that as we were getting ready for the day, because we were going to be driving to Maine, the fire alarm went off and everybody had to leave. And again, it was downpouring outside. It wasn't like raging winds and stuff, but it was steady, like raining, you know? And so we all had to go out. Like she and I were still in pajamas, and it was really annoying. And I used this firefighter helmet and this Prairie Planner fire sticker for that. Then with this Kisma from the Glam Planner, I marked that we had to stand in the rain for a while, which was annoying. I was able to stand under like the lip. It wasn't like a full awning, but like a lip of the roof. I don't know. So it wasn't great. It was cold. It was not enjoyable. But then after we were able to go back inside, we finished getting ready, and then we decided to go get coffee or like a warm drink because we were freezing. And we ended up going to this place called, I don't know how to say it, Tatte. Tate? I don't know. I got a chai latte. I can't remember what she got. I think she also got a chai. And then I tried a donut. It was not good. It was like a homemade jam-filled donut, and it was just average. Wasn't worth it. Honestly, we chose that place because there was no parking near any of the other coffee shops, and she didn't want to walk. Ironically, I ended up just going in myself, and she parked somewhere illegally and waited in the car for me. So we didn't necessarily have to go to this place, but we did, and it's fine. Then with this emoji sticker, I marked that we drove to Maine, and I was fine with it because we didn't really have any plans. We couldn't walk around Boston because it was pouring rain, and her husband lost this hat. This is random. It's a funny reason to drive all the way to Maine, but He lost this hat that he loved, and they got it at this bar in Maine. So we drove to Maine to go to this bar to try to find him a new hat. So I just marked that we ate lunch there, and I used a Coffee Monsters Co. sticker for that. Then with this movie marquee, a squidge on stage, and a piece of the deco, I marked going to see Mike Hem. With this barfing emoji, I marked that someone in our section got puked on, and I was just really happy it wasn't us. With this annoyed squish, I marked that I was getting really, really frustrated with the merch situation. If you go to concerts a lot, you know how merch works. And for a show like this, it's just really tricky when you are with someone who does not like standing and who is impatient. And it all worked out in the end, but I'll just leave it at that. I was getting really pissed off with it. Anyway, the final thing on Sunday with this, I don't know what face this is, but this Paper Shire sticker, I marked that my retainer cracked. And I had not had it for very long. I believe I got it in like end of July, beginning of August, and it cracked. So that wasn't great, especially because they're expensive and they're supposed to last years, not a month. So yeah, anyway, that's everything for this week. The following week, the trip does continue. So yeah, we'll finish talking about it then. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.